Okay, this is going to be like my recommendation of The Long Moonlight, in that I haven't finished the story I'm reading that I'm recommending, but I do recommend it nonetheless. It's called Deceived. I'm actually almost halfway through the book. Like, I'm a few pages away from being at the halfway point. And the story's still developing, but I've read more or less what happens near the end, and I've kind of skimmed through to look at some future events and stuff. But I recommend it. This is actually a good book on the grounds of I really like the writing style of this author. It's very engaging. Like, I'm not having to look up words every 10 damn seconds. I like it. Like, it drives me nuts when authors do that. Granted, I read mostly old authors, so this one's kind of an anomaly. But anyway. And one thing I really like about this is it's a multiple perspective third person story. So each part, every chapter or every couple chapters, you see the story center around a particular character. Like, at one point it'll be centering around Aaron, who's a Jedi Knight. At one point it'll be centering around Malgus, who's a Sith warrior. And at some points, unfortunately, it will be centering around a smuggler. And there's also a fourth guy who, so I don't know if there's other third perspective focuses also. Again, I'm still halfway through the book, almost. I'm not even halfway through the book yet, but I do recommend it just for the writing style. And I also like the fact of how it shows basically the complications of what the Sith are. Like, Malgus is like, I remember when I first saw Malgus in the Deceived trailer years ago, I hated his guts. But then I learned more about him on the Wikipedia, and then after I started reading this book, I thought, okay, this guy is interesting. Like, I liked what I was reading so much, I ended up changing my profile for my a lot of my accounts, so it would be him showing up after he destroyed the temple. But yeah, it shows a good perspective. It also shows you how difficult it is to be a Sith. Like, if you are a Sith, you are a shark among other sharks. Like, people always looking to tear you down. It's a bit like being in Hollywood. There's always someone wanting to tear you down. But and it also shows that Malgus is, in a warped way, Malgus is genuinely a good person. Well, not genuinely. He is sort of a good person in a warped way. Like, he's a Sith. Sith are warped individuals. So, but in a warped way, he does have a sense of honor. Like, he seems to have a weird admiration for the Jedi. Like, he says after the fight for the Jedi Temple, they fought well, or he thinks they did, and were. And if you've seen the trailer and you've seen him destroy the Jedi Temple in the book, it's just explained that he was asked what they wanted to do with what he wanted to have done with the Jedi's, but he said, "Bring the temple down. We'll make it their tomb." Like, he did this as a weird kind of way of respecting them. Like, this was him burying them, essentially. He cares for this one Twi'lek one who is his secret wife. I mean, there's so many layers to him, and I like it. And he also has a weird sense of humor. Like, I remember at one point, in the fight, he did a sarcastic salute with his lightsaber to the guy who was in charge of the operation. And it was good. I also like the Jedi that you're following in the story, because there are moments where it seems like, okay, is this Jedi going to go out of line? Is she going to go to the dark side? Like, I'm wondering that while reading this. And it's very intriguing and compelling and almost enthralling. Like, I still have no problem putting the book down. Like, it's not a page turn to where you can't put it down unless you are in really dire straits, like you have to use the bathroom or eat. It's not like that kind of a read, but it's still a pleasant read, I would say. So, and if you've seen the trailer of Deceived and you wanted to see what the fallout or the reaction to the Gallant from the Republic and the Jedi was to their temple being leveled, you kind of get this in the book. Like, you see the Jedi Vin Zalo that you see fighting Malgus in the trailer. One of the perspective centers of the story is his apprentice, Aaron something. You see her go on a quest of kind of revenge. She doesn't get it. Like, well, if you've played the game, you know this, because Malgus is alive in the game, and it seems like he can't be killed, from what little I know of the game, because I haven't played it in a couple of years. But, yeah. So, and then there's a smuggler. His parts of the story are passable. I mean, I struggle to give a shit when it comes to him. It's mostly like Aaron and Malgus where I give a shit. Like, the smuggler and this fourth perspective guy I don't give a shit about, but Aaron and Malgus will probably kind of commands some attention and respect from you. Maybe it depends on your taste, I suppose. But yeah, it's a good read. I'm still approaching the halfway mark, but it's a good read as far as I'm concerned, and I highly recommend it to anyone who has free time on their hand. Actually, there are a couple other things about this book I probably should elucidate on that I almost forgot about. One is the scenes from the trailer. You do kind of see an expansion or expounding of those scenes. Like, you get more content. Like, you see more of what's going on. Like, I'm probably alluded to this with the whole Malgus doing a sarcastic salute thing, but you get this, and you get more in depth as to how well Malgus is, because the trailer just makes him seem like a ruthless asshole. But there's also lines from the monologue of the trailer that are also used in the story. So they kind of, I don't know if they made the trailer and then had, like, I don't know if the book was made just using stuff from the trailer, or if they add stuff that wasn't present. I do not know that for certain. It's hard for me to say exactly, but, or anyway, it's a good read. If I had to give it a rating, like if I had to go back to rating stuff, I would say 8.5 out of 10. Really good read. Again, if you have some free time on your hands, buy this book and check it out. And have a nice day.